Welcome to For Love and Play. I'm matchmaker comic Yael Meisel. With me is comedians Keenan Weaver and Louie B. For Love and Play, the show about dating like a goddamn adult. We're going to discuss who to spend your time with for love or for play. Let's do it, boys.
This show contains adult content for entertainment purposes. Listener discretion is advised.
Not a doctor.
All right, thank you for tuning in for Love and Play. We're back with another week. Appreciate you listening. We have a very special guest. I met these two people a few months ago at Creek in the Cave. They put on a wonderful show that they toured the country, the He and She Show, but the actual comedy show is called Date Night, where they put a twist on having the audience kind of pre-write questions. Then the comics get to give dating advice based on the audience questions. It was just an amazing experience that I got to watch. So thank you, Doug and Teresa. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for asking us.
Great. Well, I just want to, at the top, kind of go into more details on you guys, the company or the production that you put together, kind of how that came about. How long ago did this start?
Well, we started with, it's taken on a bit of an evolution. We started with the He and She Show, which was mainly just us doing our headline show, and we would have people write down marriage questions and relationship questions and advice, and we would do that during our show. And the comedians who opened for us as we toured around, they all were like, well, we want to do this too. And so we finished a big tour this last summer, so a year ago. We finished a huge, 41 state tour and moved to New York and said, okay, let's do a different type of show. So now what we do, which is what you saw, is called Date Night. And it's, we host the show, and then comedians, we have all different types of comedians, amazing people so far that have done the show, and the audience members write down more like dating questions. We get some marriage questions, but it's mostly about dating and sex, and then the comedians basically let that lead their set. They pull questions out, and that's kind of how it started.
Nice. I want to see. I'd be very interested in seeing that.
Well, you could.
August 27th.
Yeah. So it's every month now at the Creek in the Cave. We're really excited.
Thursday.
Every fourth Thursday.
So before you moved to New York, you guys said that you did like a 41 city tour?
It's 41 states and cities and shows.
It's closer to 60 cities.
And then
60 shows.
No, we did over 100 shows, didn't we?
Not that one tour yet.
It felt like 100 shows.
She's not real good at math.
No, I'm not. 60 cities and 41 states. So
Okay, so how was that experience?
it was awesome. It was really awesome. It was, I would say it was awesome, but it wasn't always fun, if that makes sense. The first month of the tour was super packed and booked, and we had it booked really well. And we could, for some reason, we didn't know why at the time, we had a really hard time booking the Midwest, but it was our goal at the time to do all 50 states. So we're like, well, let's just get out on the tour and we'll book as we go. And then we found out the reason why it was so hard to book the Midwest is apparently in August, the entire Midwest shuts down. So there was no comedy going on. It was one of those situations where we made just enough to get to the next city and barely made enough to get to the next city. But we learned so much, I would say.
It was quite an education.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
Comedy is, people's sense of humor I knew is a little bit different culturally, but I didn't realize how different it was.
Like in Michigan, they think weed is equivalent to meth.
Yeah, so you can't do
So
weed
don't do
jokes.
weed jokes there.
It was like Upper Peninsula,
Ooh.
and
That's the part of Michigan, I wouldn't even do that without a paycheck. There would have to be a paycheck there.
well, we didn't know. It totally was Michigan was a crazy situation because we're going to get a paycheck and we were doing it at a venue. And then they had a family emergency and didn't tell us until the day of the show. So we show up and there's no show. And we're like, but we have to do Michigan. So we just went door to door to different bars, found a bar that would let us do it. But
So we got dinner and drinks out of the deal, and then
none of them wanted there to be, no one there
was ready for
was
comedy.
wanting to see a comedy
Why
show.
were people yelling at us?
That's funny.
And Doug went off with weed jokes, and they did not like that at all. At all.
Just bombarded it. So you guys are married. You put this show together. Were you
Yeah.
comics before you guys got together?
Yes.
Both of you.
Yeah.
A comedy
We
show.
met at a comedy show in Maui.
Nice.
Yeah. I did comedy. I'm from Oregon, but I started doing comedy when I was living in North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina. And then I moved to New York, tried to do it there, but I'd only been doing comedy for a month. So doing it here in New York after a month was pretty funny. I wasn't quite ready for it. So anyway, I thought I was amazing because in North Carolina I was the only girl and everyone was giving me such oh, you're amazing, you're wonderful. And so I was like, I'm going to go to New York and be a big star. And then I got up here and people were like, how long have you been doing comedy? And I was honest at first and they were like, why did you come here? And then I started lying and was like, oh,
Yes.
4 or 5 years, and then people are like, why are you so bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in comedy, you don't want to like
No.
lie on your
Nothing.
experience because you don't want to be a horrible 5-year vet. Like,
That's what I was. People were like, why are you takes you 6 minutes to do one joke. Like, what?
you're a
So
snake.
anyway, so moved to Oregon for a little bit, then I moved to Hawaii, and then Doug had been doing comedy there and in LA.
I did almost the same thing. I did comedy in Hawaii for about 3 months, and then I'm like, I'm going to be a star, and I moved to LA.
We're
So
soulmates.
you originally from Hawaii?
I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, but I moved to Maui because that was the farthest place I could be and still be in the United States and be away from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
So I lived there for about 13 years, but maybe the last couple of years I lived there, I started doing comedy.
So we met at a comedy show in Maui. It was my first show on the island, and they let me do a few minutes to like prove myself. So,
I think I was headlined with a 15-minute set.
Yeah, you headlining with a 15-minute set. And it was like a yeah, and they let me do 3 to 5 to prove myself, like kind of like an audition, you know. And for it's comedy there, especially at the time, was just one group of people. It wasn't like
There was 6 of us.
it's a small island. So anyway, we met, we became friends immediately, and 4 years ago today we had our first date.
Okay, so it's the date-anniversary tonight.
Date anniversary?
What's the plans? Any plans?
No.
We were doing this super awesome podcast today.
Yeah, no, that's the point.
With the matchmaker. See how lucky are they? It's all about the romance, these two. Seriously.
I tell you, things seem to just line up. They just line up for you guys.
It's magical.
She's so cute.
That is amazing. So you've been married? How long have you been married?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, a little 2 years.
She looks
So
she says that.
2 years of 2 years of courtship and 2 years of marriage. That's normal, gentlemen. Normal. Totally normal. These two are
Person
normal
thinks you-
resulted.
What? Yeah, I guess we're normal.
Yeah, she's digging a knife in my side because
They want to date a girl for 37 years and sleep with her a bunch of times and leave it open and think about it before they even find a girlfriend.
I feel like I can't get married to you until you're the person I know longest in my life. Like that's
You gotta keep it safe.
You're gonna marry Paul, is that what you're saying?
can't be a random stranger and I'm just supposed to like make you the number one person. I just
In India, they have arranged marriages. You meet your bride on the night you marry them. So
We're best friends for forever from Michigan. His parents met each other. They're Indian. They met each other the day before they got married. And his father called him recently and tried to sell him this idea. And he was like, Dad, with the utmost respect to like you and Mom, like he said, no, Pavin, I love your mother. I love these women. I would die for your mother. And he was like, this is the way. My wife, your mother is like the glue of our home. She's the heart and soul and the brain. I would be without your mother. And this guy's like a huge oil lawyer for Exxon, one of the richest men alive. Like met his wife the day before he married her, and he's like straight up 35 years later. I still fuck this woman on a regular basis, and I love her to pieces. Like it worked for me, it could work for you.
I was
Try it.
open to it. Like when I was like, I didn't get married until I was 30. I don't even know when to talk about it, but I think I met Doug when I was like 34. Yeah, 34. And I was totally open to arranged marriages at that point, especially with rich men that owned Exxon. I would have been so open to that.
We're taking applications over here too. So
arranged marriages. I don't think I like arranged anything.
So now doesn't 2 years sound good? Like after talking about arranged marriages, doesn't 2 years sound like forever?
that sounds like a million years to me.
It still sounds horrible.
Did you read the article about the dating apocalypse and how like dating and romance and love is like over
It's like dying. Yeah, and they were like it was a focus on Tinder.
Yes, instant gratification. It's dead. Like no more love.
I don't agree with that either. Like I don't agree with the instant. I really think it should take time to really develop a relationship. I'm not saying 2 years is. Yael said 1. Like that 2, I'm kind of cool with.
Okay.
2, like the start of where I would.
Let me ask Teresa a question specifically for marriage. And the fee is high because I look at it as, well, I'm not helping you get laid. I'm helping you get laid every day for the rest of your life and try to like complicate your life as little as possible. Like
marriage.
I want to help find forever, not for now.
That sounds cool.
that's a mindset. That's a mindset that not all have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like I'll just use my situation as a brief example. I'm a single mother of twins. I'm divorced. I think at a certain age, especially in like certain life circumstances, like being a single mother of twins, you can't just have someone hanging out for like years at a time.
God no.
Because you know what I mean? It's not even about like old school proper. It's like like, it's just not proper, I feel like, on any standard to have a pair of 7-year-olds that have been in your, a man that's been in your children's lives since they were 3 and they're now 7, and he's still not your husband? What is that? That's ridiculous, I think. That teaches your kids that you date forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and possibly maybe get married. That's just, I don't know.
If it's with the same gentleman, I think, and I feel like this is a very different topic, but specifically for single mothers, I think that they should be more diligent and take more time and truly getting to know that this is a guy that they want to have around kids versus I need to quickly give them a father.
Well, yeah,
yes and no.
Balance, isn't it? Like, you're not looking for a father, you're looking for a husband, but you want someone who will commit to being both. Otherwise, they wouldn't be worth the time.
Right. I think you're right. It's exactly a balance. Like, you don't want to have a Jared from Subway and realize it.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
That's.
We love veggie footlongs on the honey oat bread. That's really unfortunate. Really.
Well, that bread is unnatural anyway, so screw.
Yeah, right?
You didn't have any meat on your sandwich, you can still eat it.
So back to your guys' tour.
Yeah.
Are there any, like, crazy relationship questions that you've heard, maybe crazy responses to it that might help our listeners in the dating game?
Oh, that's a good question.
I actually have some cards right here. Do you want me to just pull randomly from the pile and see what happens?
Let's do that. Let's see what happens. We give our own advice.
Yeah, we should ask you guys the questions.
Wait. What is the rating? Is this a PG-rated show? I think someone's...
No. It's at the cleanest R.
Okay, so these are mostly R-rated questions.
At the cleanest R. Wow.
Cleanest. That's just being fair and honest to all parties involved.
All right, so here's a question we got last week or last month.
This was a couple months ago.
Okay, it was what is the best sex position? That's kind of lame. That's kind of a lame question because it seems like it's different for everyone. But
wow,
you guys
that's your response. That's kind of lame.
Ooh, my favorite is standard missionary, the old-fashioned way. You know what it can be.
Guess someone's
grand.
Sorry, interrupt you.
No, I think if you know what you're doing, it can be a grand original, kind of like Coca-Cola.
Do you think you can get someone's personality based on their favorite sex position?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
So, are you the type of person that likes to get done? It is.
Ooh.
And
well, yes and no. I mean, I like it to be drawn out, if that makes any sense. I like it to be long and drawn out as my children scream and cry behind me. Yeah. I like it long and dirty. Mm-hmm.
That's how you create twins.
That's how you create twins.
That's how you got it, right? I'm telling you, middle of the day in June, my ex-husband and I had nothing to do in the middle of a Saturday, so we're like, we're going to make love all day. That was a mistake.
That
is that real? I can't
That's exactly what happened.
My husband's 47, so I don't know what that would be like to go long like that. More than 5 minutes right now.
I mean, this went on for hours. Like, it was one of those that we had sex all day. Yeah, all day. All day.
Didn't that wear you out on the inside, like chafing?
Yeah, you'd think it would, but it was a good day. It was a good Saturday.
Wow.
The sun was shining, and obviously I was ovulating, but nonetheless, we had a great day.
Yeah, I think that makes things a little bit better. Will you tell your children the conception story when they're older?
No. Just don't even listen to Mommy's podcast for watching any of Mommy's. It's not for you. Oh, God.
Like on the archives.
Yeah.
All right. What other questions you got?
You, Keenan, that we got a couple months ago. How many dates before you try to have sex with a woman?
1.
0.
You don't even do the date.
Yeah, no. The question is try. So from when I walk up, I don't have the date rule where I require it, but I'm trying once I meet you. Like that's.
That's awesome. Probably, yeah. So do you do the Tinder? Do you do any of that stuff?
I actually don't do Tinder. I'm not good with online interactions at all.
So you actually do it for real? Like you actually talk to someone in real life first?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I could tell the story. A couple of weeks ago, we went out, and I was like, you know what? For the good of the podcast, I'm going to stay right with you.
Right.
The good of the podcast?
Yeah, because we were out. We do a segment where we kind of hit the streets of New York and interview people with some somewhat similar questions like you're doing now.
Yeah.
But we just try to see where the conversations go. And we were out, and I met a gorgeous young lady that, again, like I said, I was trying from when I met her. And I feel like I could have sealed the deal, but we needed some content for the podcast. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna go. And we then continued on and had some I'll tell it. Like, we had some good conversations that day.
Yeah, we did. We had a fun time that evening. We ran into a married woman who's 24. She's got 2 kids. Her husband's a police officer. And you've never met someone looking to have an affair so badly.
Really?
And you're right. This girl was like a walking, like, it's almost like she wishes someone would sexually assault her because then it wouldn't be her fault. You know what I mean?
Then she could get
This woman wants to cheat on her husband like I want to, like, resurrect.
She doesn't want to cheat on her husband. She just wants another partner. That's
the same.
Right.
She has a problem. The distinction is she just doesn't want to cheat. Like, she doesn't want to. But her body, her being, everything else is telling her, like, I need more of something else.
Well, then she will cheat. I mean, if she's going out with that mentality.
Oh, yeah. And her friends are like, what kind of bitches are these? Like, her friends are like, you should totally do it.
Oh, God.
I'm like, thinking to myself, like, no, these hoes don't have any babies. You can't be a hoe when you have children. Believe me, I would, like, when Lil Wayne's like, I want to fuck every girl in the world, I feel that way about every tall, thin Jewish man with a fro and a schnoz that looks like a zipper. So I really identify with those feelings. But I have children. I can't get the hip or the clap or be on, like, an after-school special or the Maury Povich show for any reason other than to collect a paycheck, especially in the negative light. So, I mean, your friends should not be pushing you to have an affair.
Did she say she's 24?
Yeah,
she's 24.
I think this is more of you shouldn't get married at a certain age.
It makes it hard for sure. Doug was married before, and how old were you when you got married?
21.
21.
I got married old. All my friends were married already, so I was like feeling left behind, so I had to get
Utah.
married.
Was it like the Mormon thing too?
Oh, yeah, the community there, everybody gets married, the guys when they're 21, because you can't have sex till you get married. So you come home from a mission at 21, and you have never had sex, and then you find a girl that's 18 that just graduated high school, and then you guys get married, and the first thing they tell you to do is try and have kids. So then you have 2 or 3 kids, and you're a female that's 21, and you have 3 kids, and now you're stuck.
That sounds a whole lot like Orthodox Judaism. Yeah.
Actually, it was weird. We were living in Borough Park when we first moved to New York, and it's mostly like Hasidic Jewish neighborhood, and we were like, this is just like Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Stairs.
Yeah.
Everyone looked at me like I was a whore.
Dirty whore.
Just like when I go back.
In the Borough Park definitely are, especially the Hasidic Jews. They try to fuck me every day. I see them periodically through work-related matters.
That really doesn't say much because I've walked, I live in Williamsburg, and the Hasidic Jews always try to fuck me too. So.
And if they're trying to do Louis, then there's a problem with the whole religion, I think.
They're like, we're just looking.
The Hasidic sects at Borough Park and Williamsburg, they are just a pile of nuts. Like that, I'm a somewhat religious person. Somewhat. Obviously, it's Saturday and I'm talking on the phone.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's like the same amount of kids. The women don't work outside of the home. There's a lot of rules. It really reminded me of when we visit Utah, for sure. Similarities.
So Doug, I actually want to get back to something you said because I think you have a very unique perspective that maybe a lot of people won't have. Being married at 21 versus now, I think you said 47. Do you see just any changes in yourself, like at the different age groups? Like being married so young, I think you really haven't found yourself. You really don't know. You don't really know who you are at that time, to let alone then pair it with someone else who is.
Yeah, exactly. Teresa and I have had this exact conversation, and I mean, that's my sentiments, what you just said. So, I would say, wait till you're 26, 27, 28 years old till you get married. I don't think you know who you are or what you want to do in life until then. And you get married at 21, and a lot of people I know, and you take different paths in life, and you get married so young, you don't know what direction you want to go.
Well, definitely, actually, I think Doug and I have something remarkably in common. So you got married relatively, you had a faith-based marriage at the ripe old age of 21, essentially, correct?
I wasn't so much that I was doing it for faith with myself, but it was more like social pressure from family.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I mean. It was you were living up to an expectation of what you're sure for sure. You weren't like, I want to go get married.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do this shit, yo. No, I don't think that was your. Well, so a very big confession that Louie and Keenan I don't think know about. Maybe Louie does. I was married at 22 for a year, and I was married to a rabbinical student who's in a 7-year rabbinate program, and it was really, we had the best of intentions, but like as soon as we got in the house together, it wasn't even that we fought. We were indifferent entirely to one another. As in, like, we had sex Friday night. That was it. Like, even when we, you know what I mean? Not because, like, we just didn't have that, like, you know what I mean? That fire and ice and spice and none of it. None of it.
Indifference is the worst. It's not like hate. It's like the worst you try to achieve indifference.
Oh my God, yeah.
Stuff with that, then, you know.
I like him more today than I ever have in my life. Like, he's happily married with family to someone else, thank God, and I'm like, woohoo, that's good for you, yo. But, yeah, these marriages are terrible unless you yourself are committed to the cause and, 100% committed to the cause and the ideology. I didn't think of the next step after, like, the stepping on the glass. Like, oh, we have to actually live together and somehow be harmoniously, exist harmoniously.
Right. Yeah, I think part of that instant gratification that you were talking about, like the dating apocalypse, it extends to these marriages because people have these quick shotgun marriages and not really looking forward to how the partnership looks in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the benefit for us after me having my first marriage and trying to learn from all those experiences and then saying I will never get married again ever, it's the worst thing to ever happen.
That's what he told me on our first date 4 years ago. He's like, I will never marry you.
That is so romantic.
It was.
It's how it rolled. But then...
Were you like, I want to take all my clothes off right now, yo?
No, it just really...
it was like, will this make her run away, or is she still going to stay?
Right, that's challenge and see what she does, right?
She's like, I can take this challenge, I can fix him.
I accept.
See, I almost believe that, like, you had to be into her. I don't think she was going to save you. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's
I
how
feel like it could have been you were presented the facts and then you jumped on board. You know what I mean? Is that more accurate?
Yeah, well, for me, it was like when he said that, we actually had to talk really early on, which was cool. Like, I'm glad he wasn't like, I actually had to come to terms with it. And I didn't, at that point, I was 34, and I wasn't going to be, I knew that I can't change a guy. I know that I'm not going to convince someone to marry me. And so I was just like, okay, well, we'll see where this goes. And if I really love him, then I'm just going to have to accept it for what it is. And I just won't get married, which made me kind of sad because I wanted to be married. And when he proposed a year later, I was shocked. Like, there was no talk before. We were moving to Oregon. His son had moved in with us full time, but we hadn't even discussed marriage at all because he was really clear that he was never going to get married again. So when he proposed, it was during a comedy show, and I wasn't sure if it was real or part of the show.
Oh, no.
Because I was like, what? Anyway, so he did a good job, which I love surprises, so that was great. But yeah, I accepted it. And he had a pretty bad experience, and had kids, and all of, divorces, is harder when you have children, and
right.
I wasn't gonna try to, whatever, but I'm really glad that I was single until I was 34. Really glad. I got to live a really full, single life. So I'm happy with the way my journey worked out. I'm not going to have my own kids, probably. Definitely not, because he's fully snipped.
We don't have the sex.
Yeah.
But, I get to hang out with his kids, which are awesome, and, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. And I would encourage people, in New York, people don't get married until they're in their 30s, I think. And I think that that's okay.
I think that's the least. I feel like
the least.
I'm cool with 26, 27 being kind of the least, but even at that age, you still don't really know. Until you start getting into real decades, you don't understand who you are. So that's why I like you at 34, first time marriage. That sounds, I particularly like how you said, I love the story of how you said, he said he didn't want to be married, and you were okay with it. When most women, they pressure guys. And what's great about your story is you can definitely see when love is there, the guy is going to make that change to make you happy. The woman he loves happy. That's just what men do.
It was nice. It is nice looking back and knowing he didn't just marry me because I threatened him. I have friends that did. But I would have to say, there is a whole other dynamic about like waiting for this perfect person or waiting for the perfect situation or someone who knows you perfectly or that you've known forever. Like I think that can be its own problem because you're so seeking out this perfect person or this you have this ideal that it has to be like you have to know them for a super long time. It has to be perfect. Everything about them has to line up. And then you miss out, I think, because no one is ever going to be perfect. It's not about really settling, but it's about realizing like I'm not going to be everything the other person needs. They're not going to be everything I need, but we could be best friends. I think makes the biggest, I think that's what's most important.
Yeah, I think that
I would love to find someone that I could work with every single day, but actually get work done and function as a team and then take that functionality home and conduct our home life. That sounds like that would be amazing for me. And I think that that's honestly going to be the way that it happens. I think at the end of the story, for myself, the third and final husband, I will actively set people up. Like everyone that I've set up, I've known for a while. I'm not even taking on somebody new until like end of October. Mm-hmm. So I know these people really well. These are people that are easier to, it's like they just need to balance out a little bit of stupid, but otherwise they're easier to pick up. They're easier to set up. I think for me, it's just going to fall from the sky. I really do. I think it's going to be someone I work with in either real estate or comedy, and it's just going to evolve into something long term. That's how I see that situation going down.
Well, before I said our first date was 4 years ago, but we became friends immediately.
Yeah.
Like immediately best friends.
Couples.
Yeah, that's true. It didn't last super long, but we were instantly best friends. Okay. And then it was almost like it was a weird situation because it was like I already knew him forever. And we did work together for our day job and for our comedy we worked together. And I think that there's some work to that. Like it's not always perfect, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's like being part of a team, Like when I was deciding whether or not to take his last name, because I had mine for 34 years, I decided to take his last name because it was like saying, okay, we're on a team together. Like this is like we're a team. And like so I think it's like for Keenan, as you are, how old are you now? You're like what, 20, 31? Wow, you look young.
I'm 31 as of yesterday. Thank you, Mary Kay.
31. So you guys are both 31. That's brilliant. Anyway, like I think like if I was out, 31 is a great age, and as you're in New York and you're meeting all these amazing people, if you met someone that you were like clicked with as a friend and you would actually enjoy hanging out with and thought they were hot, like that's like the perfect, because you're not always going to be having sex with them. Like you have to
be hot too.
Yeah, no, I'm attracted to like that scenario. Like I would really like to meet somebody that I can just grow with. I just feel what happens for me is I get pressured earlier than I'm ready. So the pressure just turns me off.
Well, the dilemma too at your age now though, especially, is if you're going to start, if you keep dating women your age, their biological clock starts to tick and they start getting that, hey, I need to get married and have kids. Yeah. And
well, even for you don't have that, but like you're like, 10 years, you'll be 40. Do you really want to be like 60 years old at a high school graduation?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think my scenario is similar to Teresa's. Like I would love to just slide into a divorced woman who's like has 2 kids and
twins that are about 7 years old. Is
that no, not that.
No, there's 3 right now. There's 3 right now.
The 2 kids are 21 and 17, and then I come in and I'll get married. Kids are done, and I'll spend the rest of my life with that person.
Yeah.
After she has already learned from the horrors of.
It is pretty rad, I do have to say. Like, his son lived with us from the time he was almost 16 until he graduated high school and he went and traveled. And so, basically 2 years, he lived with us full time. I was like a mom for 2 years. Like, I made cookies for the football team. Like, I did PTA meetings. Like, I did it all because I was like, it's only 2 years, so I gotta really do it. Like, I made him lunch every day.
Mentor for college classes.
I did. Like, his school was like not even a block away from our house, so he would come home every day for lunch and I would make him lunch. Like, I was like, I'm gonna do this up. Like, if I have 2 years, I'm gonna be like the best.
He was living the best world.
And then he graduated, and now he's like very independent. So he went to Australia for a few months, and now he's living in like the Portland, Oregon area with his friends, and it was great. And then his daughter's 23, graduated college already. His other son just got married. So it's like, next is grandchildren. I had it easy,
That is
perfection. You didn't have to change diapers. You're just gonna be the awesome step grandmother.
That's That's my
Nothing
love story. That's what I
came
want.
Nothing came out of my vagina.
Still like me.
Right. She's not even fat as a result of any of this shit. See?
Well, then I don't have that excuse though either. Like I can't be like,
Yeah.
well, I still look 2 months pregnant, but it's just because I don't have that excuse. I'm like, it's because of the donuts.
Nobody, you know what, though? Nobody, eat your damn donuts, because no one's gonna forgive you anyway. Honestly, God bless you. No, it's like, I don't know what I'm, living on the Auschwitz diet for. Like, kids or no kids, I was never thin. You know what I mean? Like, I was never thin to satisfactory, so, now it's like, I've had 2 kids, and they're like, that was almost 4 years ago. Yep, it was almost 4 years ago. You've had all that time to no longer be fat. Right, yeah. So, eat your donuts.
I really think that is the ideal scenario
So
on
should we be
both sides.
for that for you?
What?
Should we be on the lookout for that for you?
You gotta find me someone funny and awesome. Find him someone if the kids are gonna be by the time you're 50 in their 20s,
Yeah.
how old would he have to be now, Keenan? If you were to meet this Wonder Woman with the 2 children that you don't have to raise, how old would the kid be today?
Today? Today they gotta be 16 and 21.
So you want to marry an old one?
21? Because that means, if she's got a 16-year-old, that means she had a baby at 20.
21?
If she's got a 21, that means you want a woman who started having a kid at 15
It
now?
happens all the time, and I told you I like Spanish chicks, so it's not.
Whoa! Flag on the field. Flag on the
See,
field.
the thing about to go into Harlem to find Keenan a wife, help Louis learn to speak Spanish, find some development property. That should be our Sunday tomorrow.
Why does every scenario have to end up being Louis being the freaking slave? Yes, a boss. Okay, I'm gonna go pick some goddamn cotton, boss. All right, bye.
I called Louis this week to ask to translate something into Spanish for me to speak to. He's like, yeah, my Spanish isn't conversational enough to do that. I was like, oh no shit. What kind of Puerto Rican are you? Okay, well,
You better learn that. Spanish is one of the biggest pickup lines ever.
doesn't have any illegitimate children. I mean, doesn't speak fluent Spanish. Does a regular job. He makes above $10 an hour. I don't even know what to think about the man. It's a sham.
You know
He's
what?
not a real man.
He's killing racial generalizations right there. He's like
There you go.
Evidently, we're moving mountains. Who knew? Okay.
changing the world. Changing.
So let's see. Do you have a question for Louis?
Oh yeah. Okay. Which one should I do? This one. Louis, what superhero would you want to have sex with? This was a question that we really got.
Ooh.
It's not helpful for anyone, but
Yeah, I'm the comic book nerd too, so
that's perfect.
you probably are not gonna know who she is. It would be she SHI.
SHI. Okay, I'm googling this right now.
Mhm.
Why she?
I'm so glad it wasn't like Superman or Batman or something.
Why? Why are you glad about that?
I just-
So middle-aged white man of you.
Way to go, Judge Duggar.
Right? Judge Duggar. I know. Cereal. Oh my god. I feel like half of my life on stage with him is apologizing for his middle-aged whiteness.
I'm from Utah.
It's important that I do the duo set with him because the other day, he went on a duo set by himself and he just kept digging himself in a pit. It was horrible. I was like, I'm not here to save you.
So grateful that you're there for me.
SHI. He should be.
I really think that
And she
duo
raised your
show.
Mormon kids. I love her. I do. If it doesn't work out, Teresa, the law changed. If I were to die, you could be a rich lady. If this shit doesn't work, you just come on over here.
All right. I'm on it.
Louis, since you went so nerdy and you gotta explain who she is, who
Yeah.
she is,
Oh, either that or
and
Gen.
why you picked her.
Actually, let me go easier. Gen 13.
You gotta explain again. I'm a comment. I know who you're talking about, but no one listening is going to. So you gotta explain why you picked.
Why pick? Okay, well, I'm changing my answer to Gen 13. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry, it's been written down.
Is that
You
with
can't
a
change
G?
your answer.
Is that with a G?
Yeah,
G-E-N?
GEN. Yes. And
Oh, wow. She's very,
yeah.
wow.
Okay,
Again, why?
I choose Gen 13 also.
There you go. See, because I like my women lips.
Now, is 13 legal?
Are we gonna go there? Because I don't feel like getting cursed out this week.
Do not set him up for failure, Keenan.
That's why.
Seriously, you're getting him in trouble. That's not your fault, boo. You just ignore that question, sweetie.
You know what said Gen 13? I'm just
Well,
making sure.
that's the name. I think it's because it has something to do with genetics. Oh, fuck me.
Wait. When
You
I
don't have to answer it all, Louis, if this question makes you feel uncomfortable, sweetie. You don't let him drag you down to hell.
Damn it.
So when I googled Gen 13, it came up as a superhero team. So basically you're polymorphic or whatever it's called.
No. I'm just, I haven't really read this comic.
just likes the
Are
cover.
you just like Google imaging?
I'm just Google imaging.
Well, let me tell you that the girl in the Gen 13, her name is Catelyn Fairchild.
Okay, yeah, we're going with that one.
So I just fooled you, and you thought you were a nerd, but
Oh
Man, I got thrown off because Keenan's trying to get me just Duggars.
Is she hot? Is she hot?
This is why I love the internet, though, and I'm working on a bit that's basically like this. Is that when we were kids, basically whatever our parents told us, we had to believe. There was no research or anything that we can just check.
Mm-hmm.
So how Teresa just checked his nerdiness by the internet. There are kids now that could be like, just Google while their dad is saying something.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, you're absolutely wrong, Dad, because Google said.
Well, I have a shortened version for you, Keenan. This is the joke that I do.
Yeah.
I was a genius till Google came out.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Like, I mean, your children are older now, but just think about that. Like, think about a 9-year-old Googling something and proving you wrong as the father.
It's easier though, dude. What you do now is they ask you a question you don't want to answer, and you just go Google it.
You just tell them to go.
Just Google it.
like, what are the birds and the bees? Just Google it.
Just Google it.
Yeah, that's how I tell a joke about how there's a lot of people in the community that like are mad or feel some type of way that they didn't have a father. And I'm like, now there's YouTube. Like, it's okay.
Right.
You can't replace mothers, but YouTube specifically can replace fathers. Like,
Yeah,
period.
you can learn how to like put in a headlight. You can learn
Everything that you to tie a tie, everything is on YouTube that a father teaches their children.
Yeah,
That's
YouTube
awful.
can't tell you that it loves you.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it can though. If you subscribe to the O Network, it definitely can. Yeah.
Oh.
Oprah loves all of us. Are you kidding me?
The internet loves all of us.
Loves all of us.
Hallowed be thy internet.
I would want Oprah to be my father. That'd be great.
No, she
Wait, what?
could be. Oprah could be anyone's father. Like being white and state of mind. Oprah is strong enough to be both your mother and your father. She's like Jesus, kind of. You know?
She's the secret
Yeah.
secret deodorant.
Yeah.
I hate Oprah.
Really?
She ruined my generation. She
How come?
these women to just run off and never make any more dinners and don't do the cooking anymore. And,
That's right.
They don't clean, do
And
they?
she's never been married, so she set all of them up.
Yep.
right? She's like, if you're not happy, you should leave, bitch. Hate me.
And his ex-wife left.
And then she left.
And now
Watched the
then you
Oprah.
got to meet me, and how awesome was
My
that?
first question was, do you watch the Oprah?
She has her own private road in Maui that's kind of controversial. She's a little up there. But I don't know where I got on that. But
That's just something like
I just like to say that.
just say that
I
loud.
started it.
I like
It's
candy.
my fault.
I had a dream of being on the Oprah. I was going to be on Oprah for a book that I wrote, and it was going to be amazing. And then she was done. I was like, but I didn't have enough time.
Oh,
That, as a comic, that's exactly how I feel. Like, you dreamed of the Letterman set.
Yes.
There's no more Letterman.
No more Letterman.
You dreamed of meeting and being on the Oprah show. Like, when we were kids, those were the figures, so that's what we dreamed about.
Yes.
Now it's gone. And,
It's
like,
done.
like being on
Colbert
Jeff.
is great, but I really
I
don't
always
like,
fantasize
I don't
about
care
being
anymore.
on Rivers, and then she died. So now when I see Giacomo, I want to I'll be like, let me hold you and keep you safe. You know what I mean? But I don't do that. That's odd, but I want to.
If you ever
You
do
know?
decide to do that, let me know. I'll periscope it.
Yeah.
I saw her the other day, like, you know, I think it was like the Stand or something, and I just wanted to do was ask her, like, did Ethan Hawke ever wash his hair during Reality Bites? I don't know, maybe you guys are too young, but that movie came out in high school, and I thought Ethan Hawke was amazing, and that was like her first big movie, and then I rewatched it recently, and his hair was disgusting and filthy, and I was like,
Ew.
that's how I could tell I'm getting older, but then I was like, I don't think he washed it the entire time they filmed it, because it just kept getting grosser, so I really wanted to ask her, but I thought that might be awkward.
Hey, I feel like those are the questions that they really live for, because they get normal, like, surface fandom, but when you ask celebrities some real intricate, deep knowledge type of their career, I feel like they like it.
Yeah, I have a similar dream. I mean, always dreamt about ending up on Sábado Gigante, but Don Francisco, he's retiring after 53 years of doing that show, so, you know, I gotta be on suicide watch with all my elderly family members, and none of you know what I'm talking about, so there.
I'm totally with you 100%. Oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah, vote Trump.
Speak Spanish.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak Spanish just to, like, show up, for throwing me under the bus earlier.
You don't speak Spanish, or you don't even own a weed whacker, so I don't want to talk about this anymore.
That's Mexican, you.
I
Oh!
preference for a cleaning lady. I wouldn't.
That's Mexican.
I wouldn't.
Oh my god!
I mean, if you need weed, let me know. I could refer you to somebody.
I got around the corner and these bitches deliver. I would never, deviate from.
Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me because you had a marriage where you had sex only on payday.
Payday was Thursday. Payday was Thursday, and the shitty part is
of course you need to get your money earlier.
A business that I still own.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
Own business.
Break my balls for no
that would
reason.
be worth the Friday's sex attack.
Right? And no, he was a great person as far as people go. So like,
But he was
even though I had better sex in my life, like it was decent. It was okay. Like
please.
Since him, I've done worse. You know what I mean?
You have a diesel powered dildo. I mean, don't come off like that to him.
All right, children.
Man.
Let it roll for a little bit.
Damn, what's with this carbon monoxide going on in here? I'm just masturbating.
At 2:30 this afternoon, sick from last night.
Man, wait.
I had drama at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm exhausted, and it's like I just can't be, can't be nice all the time. I'm nursing my coffee.
I'm
By
surprised
5 o'clock, I think we'll be awake.
with 3-year-olds.
Well, I mean, I have a nanny, thank God, so we're all in the care of an adult.
We're all
children. Thank God.
God bless
We
you.
love her. We
bless
hired
Laura.
a babysitter last night so she could come to my party because I love her so much. She's like my wife. She's my life partner. I love this woman. She's a deal breaker for me. If you don't love Laura, get out of my house. Like, you either accept all of us or none of us. Like, if you want me to get rid of, I've had guys say to me, I think you should be doing more things, with your children and around the house, and I'm like, you have to get out of my life this minute.
Wait, what? There's a guy who said, I'm thinking a single mother with a nanny is the only exception to dating single moms. Why would someone why would you do that?
Because some men want to watch the world burn.
yeah, my life, if you take Laura away, you need to come have Child Protective Services save all of us. You know what I mean? Like, DL there and 2 children, they're screwed. Laura is the glue that keeps us together. So
I've respected anyone like I respect moms in general in New York City ever.
I don't.
Yeah, New York City is not a place for kids at all.
No, it isn't.
You can do it and you can your children make it past a certain age and they're still alive. You're the best mother ever, basically. In the West, it's easy for them.
We need to sacrifice all children to Molech.
those kids have minivans, they have parking lots, they have driveways, they have yards, they have space. You don't even know. It's until you're raising a pair of 3-year-olds and I don't know, you're Jewish settlers on Caribbean land in Crown Heights. You don't know what roughing it means. School is expensive just to educate these children. It's an income. It's you have to make this.
I love how a person with a nanny just used the term roughing it. That is amazing.
He doesn't even know what it means. He lives in White Westchester. He doesn't even know.
Westchester.
Hey,
Man,
just because I'm one of the black people that was able to kind of escape the system for a little bit, don't put that on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still one traffic stop away from being a hashtag. You never know.
kids. I mean,
Hashtag Keenan Lives Matter.
That's it.
Out of the hands of the cult, out of the hands. I mean, what you do on a daily basis to keep everyone alive, it's crazy to me. Just to keep everyone alive and well and happy. My kids go to a bilingual school, and the bitches speak almost a perfect Hebrew. These kids are better in Hebrew than they are in English. I thought my children were speech delayed. No, they're just brilliant and don't effing speak English by choice. By choice, Hebrew's more comfortable on their tongue.
Mm-hmm.
This is what white children are.
You know,
this is it.
Really, I mean, those kids are really fucking up my OCD. They're 2 and they're 3. They're 2 kids and they're 3 years old. That's really fucking my OCD.
You want them to be 2 and 2? Is that what?
Well, next year they'll be perfect because there'll be there'll be 2 4-year-olds. So that because I need things divisible by 2. That's just my my sickness right now. So I can't meet your kids until next year.
I never want to meet anybody's kids.
Oh.
Unless they're
mine are not horrible. You were going to come over the other day, and I was like, I have pneumonia, and there's children here, and Keenan is so clean. Oh my god! Everyone speak out bleach because company is coming over, and it's brutal.
Mm.
I don't know. I just don't like. I have a friend right now who has a child, and I think the child's 4 now. I've never met, a best friend from college, legit.
But you realize you still have to come to their bar mitzvah and send a check. I mean, if you've met them or not, that doesn't matter. If you know me in 10 years, whether you've met the children or not is irrelevant.
Man,
you still have to come to the bar mitzvah.
I feel like whatever I say at this point will definitely severe our relationship on this podcast.
Like the bar mitzvah.
Don't worry, I'll take the young lads to a strip club. Don't worry, that's what Uncle Louis does.
If 10 years from now I have a Hollywood agent and I'm making millions, I will definitely be a part of the bar mitzvah because I'm looking for another agent, and that's where Jews are.
Oh wow.
Yeah. My parties, by the way, I want to make clear, I deliver. You come to one of my events, that's it. Rich people, celebrities, kind of. Oh no, don't worry, I can accommodate that.
All right, then I can give a card if that's all it takes.
I threw a free rooftop party last night, dude. People had a bomb time. They had a great time last night.
So yeah, it's your birthday. Louis was there. How was the party?
Okay, so the awesome people I work with at Lyman Brownstone Development Realty. What up, people? So they're so cute. Like, they're so proud of the fact they have like a semi-career comic that works for them, but they had no idea like the drawback of a comedian. You know, the darkness. Like, why would I be good at this job? Because I can get on stage and tell jokes about smoking the pole and doing cocaine. That's why I can do development real. So anyway, so they wanted to throw a surprise party for me, and then they were like, wait a minute, this woman like actually does organize every ounce of her time. So us throwing her a surprise party could really like turn out to not be a party at all. So they asked me on Monday, we want to throw a party for you Friday night on Jose's rooftop, who also, he's from Texas. He doesn't speak Spanish either.
How was the party?
So the party was amazing. It was amazing. We just had a great time. It was a bunch of people from work. They brought some people with them, and then other people showed up and were in and out throughout the night. And we had a really, really good time. And there was alcohol. There were other things for people that didn't want alcohol.
No, there wasn't.
At some point after I left, we had cake. At some point after I left, there was food delivered from what I heard. So yeah, it was a damn good time.
There was food delivered. That's all you need to know about the party.
Hold on. So I left my party. Why? Why do you think? Right? So
very good.
Yeah, there's someone that I've done business with who's younger than me, and he's been trying to lay it on thick all week. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I mean, we've had before. We know each other, we respect each other. We're not boyfriend girlfriend. It is my birthday.
Birthday suit. Bring out the birthday suit then.
Everything was fine. Everything was fine till around 5 o'clock in the morning when his roommate came home. This is it. This is why I cannot date younger people. This is just, and he had this guy, by the way, is young but makes an obscene amount of money. Like, he can live alone, but he wants to live with. I get it. The brotherhood of his stupid friend. No.
In New York City, it's not even necessarily an age thing. So do you have a problem with just dating guys that have roommates?
No, because I dated other people with roommates, and the roommates were never ever a problem. They would never do something like
this one is.
Okay. Remember, we talked about this dude on the show before. There's just like a comfort in a one. This is like, I cannot date the man on a realistic level, and this is one of the big reasons why. Roommate walks into the room. This is not the first time the roommate has done this, and before I even went there, I was like, is your roommate home? No. Are you sure? Yes. Are you expecting him back this evening at all? No. To the best of my knowledge, he is out of town for the weekend. At like 5 a.m. And now he's like, oh my God, the comedian's here. Oh, happy birthday. You look phenomenal. We'll
do that in the bedroom?
Oh my God. So like, we hang out with him in the living room. He's like sitting next to me and trying to like, you know how when a dude puts like the tip of his finger on your shoulder and you're just like, if you know, under sexual circumstances, that's amazing. In this circumstance, you want to vomit. And it's just this guy, like every time I've ever seen this man, it's just something like with an implied open invitation for something sexual. And like, well, you're a comedian, you talk about this stuff. Because I on no level wish to fuck you. Not at all.
Was he like, is he hoping for a threesome with his roommate? Is that what he's...
I thought forever this guy has the hot for his roommate. Kind of like a jealousy bromance thing, like, bitch, you're not going to take him away from me.
Yeah.
I felt that for a while. Yeah, I think so. There's a little weirdness there.
So he's like...
I'm glad you picked that up.
He did. So I was like, well, been real, gentlemen. It was nice to see you. I'm going to leave now. He's like, no, please don't leave. And I was like, yeah, this is about time my exit stage left. I was like, you weren't supposed to be here tonight.
Totally. So, absolutely. Like, for sure.
And he wants the dude more than he wants you.
I would put money.
I'm just like sprinkles on the frosting on the cake. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get to fuck her too, because why not?
Yeah, you're his way in.
You're the doorway.
You're the doorway.
But no, you guys really, from that scenario, do you really get that? Or am I totally not thinking that?
No,
That's what I'm picking up.
Yo, what was that movie? Yo Mama, Tom Yen, or whatever, where the two guys...
Y tu mama también.
Wow, that was way better than I said it.
Yeah, take that, yo.
Open the door and then starts yelling at him in Hebrew, and he's like, no, something blah, 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 like goes, he's like, you can't just walk in my bedroom with a woman in my bed. Like,
wow.
You can't. And he's like, and then he kind of like comes inside, he's like, he wants to wish you happy birthday. He didn't mean anything. Like, he's like, I'm so sorry. He actually likes you for some reason.
For some reason.
I was like,
For some reason. We know the reason.
He's like, he likes you for some reason. He asks all the time, like, well, no, why doesn't she have comedy videos? He's like, oh, because she thinks she's fat. Yeah, but she's funny. Like, he likes you. I was like, oh, right, but he wants to fuck both of us, and I'm just a bridge to you.
Huh?
I should handle her 20 minutes before I left.
You mean, yo, you never thought to have like a pig in a spit roast type of moment?
Even if I would, not with them.
Why not? Stop being so damn, picky. Jesus.
Wow.
Like, honestly, you're only young once, and, it's starting to fade.
I already won.
Yeah, it's, you're about to hit the wall in
I'm just letting you know, the age for women, the tick up is nice. It's like a roller coaster. The tick up is nice and long, but once you hit that peak, 31, that drop off is quick.
Yep.
So, wait. I don't like the way this conversation is going in.
No. Okay, no. This is actually not negative. Remember when you're 25 and you would fuck up really bad and people in your life would be like, it's okay, you're still young.
Yeah.
You can come this and fuck. Alright, when you are north of like 29, 27, that's when you have people that say to you, listen, you're not young anymore, you like really can't do this shit. Period.
It's true.
When you're north of 30, there is no discussion, and they're like, listen, you need to see a fucking therapist. You go to a psychiatrist, you need to have a life coach, there's something the matter with you, and you are far too old to be broken. So that's where, like, listen, we all have to be functional, like, I think the highest level of functionality for our own selves. I mean, so, you're not given for being stupid nor 30, you're just not.
I think 30s, I feel like it should go like this. 20s, the decade of your 20s, you're supposed to kind of like really figure out, formulate who you are. You're not necessarily aware of your own flaws as much. You're not really self-aware about that. 30s is the time where you can kind of like focus on fixing it. Like she was saying, like a therapist, whatever is necessary. The 30s, early 40s, you kind of like fix it. Once you hit 50, you're done. Just give up. You are who you are.
It's over. Yeah.
If you're a horrible person at this point, there is no more hope.
So I only have 3 years to turn Doug around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Get on it.
Yeah. Damn it, that's so little time.
That's a short list right now.
Yeah, I gotta just really start working it.
Buckle down.
Buckle down.
Dopamine in his food, though, he probably wouldn't hate it.
No, he wouldn't.
Oh,
I think
me too.
his parents have given up on him.
Damn.
And it's like,
I don't know, my parents the other day were like, you have so much potential. They still are saying
they
that.
still have hope.
They still think
They still think that you might do more with your life.
You should go back.
Potential is not a 40-year-old word.
Failure. I don't understand. Like,
My parents
potential
don't
to be
like that.
what? Like, why are you a disappointment?
Exactly. Thank you.
He's only disappointment to the. I think actually I think they're getting it now. Like before it was a disappointment, but now it's like they came and visited us and saw like our world, and I think they're cool. They understand him doing comedy now, and they understand that we like to travel and we don't own a house and we're not like
Mormon.
rooted like they are. I think they still are like, come and open a comedy club in Park City, or come and which who knows someday. But it's like they want it to be like a concrete like
I think
thing.
specifically like from our parents and the different generations, that's probably like the biggest thing. Not necessarily marriage, but how marriage looks. And you said it, like rooted, where there's marriages now where people can just travel, have fun, and not be bound to like a mortgage.
Yeah. I mean,
And silence.
I think they're telling his parents, or maybe it was my dad, like how we're going to, because we're going to be traveling all of December and January and doing shows in Egypt and in Europe. And it was like the look, I think it was my dad, the look on his face was like terror. Like, why? What about your part? Like, what? Why? Like,
Right.
What about your home?
when are you going to settle down? Like, what? How? It's just like,
Sublet. You could sublet the apartment.
oh yeah, we have that all figured out. Like, that's not even a big thing. It's
Right.
like so
So
easy
what would
here.
happen to your home? Like, other than these nice folks will pay rent for the duration of your absence. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just like
No.
the great late Colin said, a house is just a place where people put stuff in. Their stuff in. Like, it's just...
Yeah, exactly. Well, and there was an article that I reposted on Facebook today, so you could tell I loved it, and it was basically saying that scientists have decided that experiences are more valuable than anything that you could own because they actually shape who you are as a person, that you carry your experiences with you. Stuff is just stuff. They don't change you. Your big giant TV isn't gonna whatever. Your fancy car.
But we really support that because we don't have any stuff.
So I'm like, this works. All right.
Children broke all my stuff. They broke my stuff, but they did motivate me to, I look at it like this, it's a trade-off. Usually children shatter and shit all over your dreams, and I can appreciate people thinking that, but my kid basically just ruined all my things and earthly possessions, but gave me the motivation to excel and be better. So there's more money, but you can't buy anything with it because they'll destroy it.
Because they'll destroy it.
Right. If you have something nice and you bring it into this house, that's your fault. I don't want to hear it. You knew better. I'm mentioning it on my show. Don't bring anything of value or expensive into my home unless you want it ruined.
Alrighty.
I feel like at this point, we're not going to go anything more profound than that. So I would like to start to wrap it up. Teresa, Doug, are there anything upcoming that you guys want to promote?
Yeah, Thursday, the 27th, we have a huge lineup at the Creek in the Cave for our 10 p.m. show, date night, which is different every time. And then Keenan will be on it in a couple months. And we should talk to you guys about being on the same month. Anyway, we'll talk later.
Yael, you got anything to promote?
I have something to promote, yes. I'm going to be in a competition on September 10th at Broadway Comedy Club to earn a spot in the Taj Mahal.
Woohoo!
The network for matchmaking is opening up in the end of October. If you want to submit your application, please send me all your info in either a Facebook message or respond to our email address. And follow me on SoundCloud, Urban Huber YM, and Facebook, Yael Meisels, Twitter, Yael Meisels, and hashtag for Love and Play.
All right, what's going on, Louis?
Well, first I have to do this real quick. Yeah, what's up? This is Louis V. You can follow me on Twitter at LouisV1 because all I do is win. I do my own podcast, the Crotch Shot Radio Show. You go listen to it. Let me just stop it right.
Why stop now?
Oh.
Hey, Doug.
I've been to
Doug.
music. I was bounced along at home. I was feeling it.
I was too.
Yeah. So yeah, I do the Crotch Shot Radio Show. You can check me out. I'm on iHeartRadio. Just search Crotch Shot Radio Show on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and TuneIn. You can, download the app and listen. And yeah, take it away, Keenan.
All right. Y'all know all the information is on my website, www.keenanweaver.com. This Thursday, I'll be at Foxwoods Casino. Sunday, New York Comedy Club. Check it out. For Love and Play. Hashtag us. Talk about it. Any advice you want. We're on Twitter. Let's start having these conversations on Facebook. We're enjoying them.
Yeah.
And at For Love and Play. Thank you guys. Keep loving. Keep playing.
Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Shalom.